Welcome everybody, Silvia Isachsen here, and I'm so glad to see you. This is going to be a live show today, interactive, where you can add to the conversation, ask questions, and be part of this interactive experience talking about the path to enlightenment. If you happen to be watching this on the replay, just type in replay, where you're from, and what you got out of this discussion. I will be checking the comments area so that I can respond to you there, even if you aren't here live today. So, welcome. All right, I've got a few things. I actually spent some time thinking about exactly steps to enlightenment that I can share with you. And if you have some, you can add them as well. It's great to see so many people here already. I do have a chat area where I can see what you're saying. I'm just going to move it over right here. So if you have anything that you'd like to add, go ahead and ask it there. Otherwise, it might seem like an odd time to be talking about the path to enlightenment when there is so much perceived chaos going on, but I think it's the perfect time to talk about enlightenment. And if you would, let me know if you can hear me okay. All right. And I'm going to go and find the chat region so that I can read what you guys are saying. I think it's actually right here. Yeah. Okay, good. Nice. Yes. When you guys start to chat, I'll start to see it pop up. Oh, I see. It was just covered here. Good. I see it. Okay. We have Eric B. We have David Johnson. Yosheli G. David Johnson again. Nicole Anderson. Yvonne. Shauna. Okay. I'm going to save some of the questions for question period time, and others that I see, I'm going to pull them out. I'm really happy to be here. So, Chris B, Janet. Okay, so let's get started without further ado. One of the reasons why I chose the topic today to speak about the path to enlightenment is because I started to feel some of the feelings, and some of you may understand the term empath. I resonate with empath, and I feel through osmosis what's happening not only in my home, but what's happening outside in the community, of course, because we're all connected. So if you're feeling anxious today, if you're feeling out of sorts, or if you're wondering what's happening at this moment, I think it's a great time to chime in on the discussion. And I do feel the anxiety around, but I am taking specific actions to double down on enlightenment and this path to enlightenment. First and foremost, I'll say good news, lots of good news. The good news is that it's going to happen anyways. And if you allow for things to unfold, because enlightenment is going to happen, but if you allow things to unfold, release, let go of how we expect it to unfold, it's going to be a lot easier. Okay, so you don't have to suffer hardships and long suffering in order to achieve enlightenment. You can achieve enlightenment without all of that. Now, oftentimes the hardships make us feel more enlightened because they put us through it, doesn't it? It's like all these things happen to us and we're like, oh, we try to find the answers and we suffer. We don't understand why we have loss or why things aren't going the way we wish that they would. And then we go on that journey for self-exploration and truth and trying to understand the universe, ourselves, other people, and our positioning within that. So yeah, good news, you don't have to suffer. How can you expedite enlightenment? That's what I want to talk about today. So before I do you guys have any comments on how you're feeling today and what your thoughts are right now? If you do, please post them and I'd love to see them. Okay, so if the volume is a bit soft, do let me know because I can get closer to the source, the microphone. I have ordered a lapel, so next live you'll hear me even clearer. And I want to make sure that the internet is coming through okay as well. Okay. So, volume is okay. Sociable graces. Thank you so much. Super. All right. Yes, volume is better. Okay, so let's get into the steps right away. I want to talk about letting go. So, what does it mean to let go of our expectation? Hey, girl, love you. Hi, Sheena. It means that life is going to happen and suffering or opportunities to suffer are going to happen, but we have choice in it. And last week we talked about that free will in having the choice of how we want to respond or interpret life's potential setbacks or suffering. And we have the choice to look at it the way that we want to look at it or not. And one other reason I chose this topic is because I have received numerous comments about people who have lost loved ones, children, parents, and they've questioned, you know, they've questioned, for example, if God existed, then why does He allow those things to happen? And I want you to know straight up, for those people specifically, nobody is specifically targeting you. Circumstances are going to happen to all of us, and it's just the way that we manage and deal with them. And some circumstances feel unsurmountable, and I get that. But let's talk about the things that we can manage. Let's talk about the things that we can do at this time today. I feel happy, joy, good vibes. Yes. And Taylor, yes, currently I am in California. I'm normally from the northwest coast in Canada, and I am here on my spiritual journey. I do an annual, I don't know what you call it, walkabout journey for my spirituality, and I find that the heat is really helpful because it is a very dry a heat with a lot of sun, and I find that it really has a different impact than where I'm normally from, where there's a lot of moisture and rain. Both of them are cleansing. Both of them make me feel healed. But I go on this journey. And when I go on this journey, it's not always fun. There's a lot of fun to it, but I have to do internal work that some people call, I never knew this term, but some people call it shadow work. Maybe you've heard of that term before. What I like to do, and I actually don't even mean to do it. I come here just thinking it's going to be a great journey, and then suddenly things occur that could potentially make me feel, or you feel, anyone feel, off balance. So then when I encounter those things, typically it's like a chemical reaction, and I respond from the old part of me. Then I start to realize, oh, okay, yeah, this is meant to show me something. This is meant to show me some truth that I can uncover, and perhaps some parts of myself that I can uncover and let the light shine in. Okay, so I'm going to read a couple of these comments here because I've got some good stuff coming up. So Trendy says, I'm a bit lost at a fork in the road, and I think I can't use my intuition, or that's what I'm understanding here, which way to go. Excellent. So first and foremost, Trendy, know this, that if you're at a fork in the road, this is a good thing. If you don't understand 100% and there's uncertainty, that's also a good thing. And the reason why is because uncertainty is a telltale sign that opportunities are there for you to uncover parts of your life and yourself where some light can come in, and some uh, awakening to new concepts for your personal growth. So first and foremost, let's acknowledge that you're in a good place, even though it feels a little vulnerable or a little bit not comfortable. You'll hear many spiritual leaders talk about those parts. And the best thing to do is exactly what you're doing right now. Watch this and let's get some solutions for it. And I've got a few for you right here. I'm just going to answer another question, but first I'm going to put the question up, And then I'm going to go ahead and read you the solution. So the solution here is let go, spend time in nature as much as you can, wherever you're located. Spend time in nature because nature is rebalancing and healing by default. Even if you don't do a single thing but walk on the earth and breathe the air. Breathe in deep because that's your life source. Take a deep breath in. Breath, oxygen, the communion with nature is our very first and easy step that we can take. Then commune with God. So I'm not going to define who God is for you, and we're not going to talk about any specific mode or religion. Just connect and commune with God. I like to say when I pray, I ask, and when I meditate, I'm listening. So when I pray, I also take time to pray and ask for other people so that it can create a vortex of goodness and spontaneous possibilities for the positive around me and you. And then next is have faith in God's plan. Here's the thing, we don't know everything for sure because our vision may be a little limited. We don't see the big picture. Therefore, we have to have some faith that God has a great plan. And I started this talk off by saying the path to enlightenment is inevitable. Your success is inevitable. Your joy is inevitable. Your love is inevitable. The question is, during this experience, how can we expedite it? How can we tap into it? I want to help you create a bridge towards where you're at and where you want to be. And next is ask your angels for guidance. I learned the hard way that you actually have to ask your angels. So your angels are around you all the time, but you have to actually ask your angels for that help so that they have permission to come into your life and bring enlightenment and bring vision and bring opportunities in front of you. And remember, the word next is the words that you say carry a vibration, and they also have an interaction like a chemical or more vibrational reaction in your environment. So when you say words, whether they're positive or negative, they are going to definitely have a chemical vibrational reaction in your environment. Some people know that as manifestation. Manifestation doesn't necessarily just mean bringing things to you. However, when you create a vibrational energy, it allows and facilitates those opportunities to spontaneously develop and unfold in front of your life. And next is be who you want to become. Be and act as though you are that person who you want to be. That was a challenge for me in the beginning. I'm going to answer your question, Nicole, shortly, and others. It was a challenge for me. What are you talking about? I thought to myself, be who you want to become. I'm just being me. But when you start to take the actions of the person who is enlightened and you start to say the words of the person who is enlightened according to you and your intuition and your inner connection with God, it becomes easier to become that person. You can tell me some examples of positive affirmations that you can, the conversation in your head, your self-talk, that can get you closer towards your goal of enlightenment because it is inevitable. Okay, so my family and I are currently healing from COVID. We are blessed to have mild symptoms, but my anxiety has definitely been getting the better of me at points, trying my best to remain calm. Nicole, bless your heart. Thing is that I think that's happening, and of course I don't want to undermine at all what you're experiencing, but I think the frenzy, I don't even watch the news and I can feel it. So I can imagine if I'm watching the news or experiencing it myself, that it would really heighten my sense of anxiety, I want to say. But remember this, and I say this with respect, our perceptions influence our nervous system, but our mind and our hearts, specifically our heart energy, can connect with God and override those sensations and those feelings. As a matter of fact, I feel personally that it's important that we override those because it's influencing everybody in the entire world. It's never been like this way before. But good news, guess what? Because it is so global and because it is affecting every corner of the earth, practically, I imagine is everywhere, it's an opportunity for us all to pray for each other, to meditate for response, to recalibrate our responses to each other and to the earth. And, I don't want to say, hey, this is a great time, but isn't it an opportunity for us to really say, wow, we are all in this together, and we are all, and thank goodness it's not anything worse. I mean, well, I shouldn't say that because this is pretty intense, but we're not in the middle of a nuclear war, and we're not having an asteroid that's coming at us. We are in a situation which is uncomfortable and scary. However, we have each other. I don't want to go too far in that because I want to make sure I respect everybody who is currently experiencing it or afraid of it. Okay, Trendy, thank you for saying thank you. So, having faith. All right, good morning, Scott. Thank you. And David said a nice line here, as a man thinketh, so he is. Jesus. Yes, yes, and yes. So whatever we're thinking, and remember, thought is one of the processes. Thought is not who we are. Thought is a process of how we're interpreting a situation. I love thought, and I feel that we can use thought as a positive instrument to create a vibrational energy around us. However, our hearts and our connections, our direct connection to God, again, overrides it all. So if you're thinking, there's a silly saying that I heard. And if you've got, I don't even know if I want to say it, it's embarrassing. Now I have to say it. If you have stinking thinking, then we can, I can't believe, yeah, it's something, a line in my mind when I have negative self-talk, if I ever do, which is far and few between now, I try, that we can override that through our heart energy and through meditation. Thank you, David. And now, I want to go. Sylvia, what is your definition of enlightenment? That's a good question, but first I want to acknowledge something here, that somebody just got a ring engraved with faith over fear. Yay, it's Nina P999. Excellent. Faith over fear, 110%. Maybe I should get my ring engraved with that too. Okay, Sylvia, hi, what is your definition of enlightenment? Okay. My definition of enlightenment is living without fear, living in bliss, being able to appreciate what is around me and the people who are in my life with joy, without feeling like I need to fix or change anything, understanding that everything is an opportunity for me, for my existence, and ultimately that God is permeating my life and that I have that connection to look forward to at any point in time. I don't have to wait to pass away to be connected with God. I don't have to have specific circumstances to be connected with God. It can happen now. And when I have those connections, I believe that's enlightenment. It's not necessarily always being happy with the circumstances around me, although I do believe that's part of enlightenment joy. It is knowing that I have within me the power that was given to me and you as a right to connect with God anytime that we choose to. So that's my definition of enlightenment, spontaneous, without thinking about it right off the cuff. And if you guys have more definitions of enlightenment, feel free to post them there because it's an individual, unique experience that you have, enlightenment. Okay, thank you for taking the time to share. And this is Yvette. Share your heart and soul with us today. Thank you so much, Yvette. I appreciate it. Okay, and I'm going to go back. Yeah. Okay. Nice. All right. Any recommendations on where, on a set of where to purchase? I'm sorry. I might have forgot of where to purchase that. Maybe you can, Sheena. Maybe you can let me know what you're talking about in terms of purchasing it. Okay. So here we are today, in the middle of a pandemic, with a lot of people who have fear. But there's a lot of people who also have faith. And that's why I think you're here today, is because it's not an accident that you found yourself here. It's a vibrational calling, and it's a vibrational connection. And it's just a portal for us, this online experience, for us to actually connect and to have this discussion. But while we're talking, while you're chatting, and I read out your chats, and if I miss anyone, just keep repeating your question and I'll answer it, because whenever I leave, I always think, I hope I answered everyone's question or mentioned your name. Anyhow, it's a portal for us to connect so that we can raise the vibration of faith over fear. And again, that transcends any religion, but faith in the fact that enlightenment is inevitable, and that healing is inevitable, and that we are going to be fine, and that this experience, where we are at right now, we don't have to wait to go someplace else to be enlightened and to be connected with our source and to have the wisdom that we need in our lives. And when things feel unstable and vulnerable, it basically, if I could retitle those phrases: opportunity for growth, opportunity for compassion, opportunity for love, joy, faith, to take yourself to the next level of openness, and to open more of yourself to light, and to release the darkness that you have. And don't forget that although sometimes we feel like we have to be somewhere else to be in love, in basking in love, you can actually do it right here. And one of the easiest connection points, apart from all the things I mentioned already, is looking into the eyes of another human being and smiling and eliciting joy through your vibration. Try this experiment. I'm in the desert, so I'm having a bit of, I should have some water momentarily, but pardon me. But try this experiment. Look into someone's eyes and smile. Mind you, we all have masks on these days, but maybe smile with your eyes and make that contact. And you're going to notice that more often than not, people are going to respond with that. And that's the power that you have through your vibration, even just through your eyes, not even a smile, to transform the environment around you. Literally, you're a transformer. It's a spiritually transformative experience. Jesus equals God. Yes, Washington. Jeshua for love. Yes. I find my ring. Oh, I stamped love. Okay. Okay, so Nina's saying that she got her ring on Amazon and it's stamped with love. And good. Now I'm just going to pull some out there. Abiding in divine bliss in spite of everything else. Exactly. Now, I want to do a little experiment with you. How about, because the word fear and faith both start with F, I actually wanted to do, how about why don't you write what you're feeling right now more? If you had a gauge, do you feel more faith or more fear today? So you can write fear or faith. And it's part of a bigger plan here. It is a little bit of an experiment, but I planned for this and I want to talk about it. Faith, nice. It's starting to come in. Hey, Leo Murphy is here. Yes, faith, faith, faith. Faith. Wow, you guys are on a roll. Nice. Okay. Excellent. Well, then we can just move forward and just use that. See all of that? Look at that momentum that we're building and we're using that. I want to propose that we do take all of this faith. Sheena's like 80% faith, 20% fear. Good, good. All right. So I want to propose that we all take this faith and generate an even bigger ball of light energy and take a moment to feel it in your heart center and send it out to the world and know that you personally have the power to transform your personal environment and create a bigger circle when we do it all together. So we're all located in different parts of the world, right? And if we do that in that part, we can do a connection. So what do we want? What do we want instead of fear? We want faith, but what do we want in faith? Can you tell me exactly what in an ideal situation you would be feeling right now? So go ahead and type that in if you like. Didn't mean to make you do so much work today, but it's just an exercise I had planned earlier, and then we'll sum that up. Peace. Nice. Faith. Good. So you want to feel peace. Inner peace. God knows me, loves me, and always will. Have my back. Yes. Okay, that's what you want to know. Carrie says that God knows me, loves me, and will always have my back. Yes. That's a guarantee for all of us. Peace, hope, yes, peace and hope. Peace, peace. Content and secure, peace of mind. Great. Nice. I think that currently, is this Pat Murphy, the gentleman that I'm going to be interviewing who had an NDE? I'm just curious because I'm going to be, Leo Murphy it is who I'm going to be interviewing. By the way, I have a bunch of really good interviews coming up for you over the next few days as well as weeks to come. Okay, so we want freedom, safety, understanding, goodwill, joy, peace. Look, we're all in this together. So, the last thing I mentioned on the list was be who you want to become. So start acting. So if joy is it, become joy. And take time to smile and to bask in joy. Immerse yourself in joyful meditation. If peace is what you want, imagine yourself in a peaceful light and become peaceful and emanate peace. I'm telling you, this is real. The vibration shifts. And if you want to do your experiment by communicating with others through your eyes, or whether you're on a virtual portal like this, or wherever you are with your family members at home, no mask, when you start to become all those things that you wanted, then you become joy, peace, all of that. Oftentimes, we're looking for the outside to make us feel that, whether it's a person, a thing, a job, a something to make us feel. But when we actually become it, we become so powerful and we flourish our inheritance of those things. Do you notice how everybody wanted the same things pretty much? And that is that tells us that we're fundamentally connected and humans all together. Oh, we got one love. Yay! Truth sets us free. And we've got one love right there. Great. So if you want love, become love. Become the loving person all the time. So let's do an example just for a moment of the opposite to that. So if we want love but we feel deprived of love, or that there's not a lot of love available to us through our friends and family and people who we meet out, or our cities or our countries or whichever, if we don't feel that way and we step out into the world and we're looking for it, there's a good chance that we're going to be feeling deprived, even more so. exponentially so. This is why it's so critical to become, in order to attain enlightenment or be on the path to enlightenment, we have to start to take up our own power. We have to believe in our own power and start to emanate those things exactly what we want. And when we start to do that, it works for us. It's just that's a power that we have, is to actually make that happen. Okay, I'm just going to put over this here. Carrie said, we are surrounded by a light of Christ. We connect with it internally, not externally. Right. And through each other. And then here, you will be deprived of that which you are not internally expressing. Mighty Savage said, yes. And Syrian Siren said, I emanate my desires. Right. So during this time, would you agree that it's the most important time to be on the path to enlightenment? And I know that you are on the path to enlightenment. That's why you're here. And I know that you are light workers in your own right. And I know we're just having our Saturday meeting so that we can all collaborate and get refueled on faith so we can go out and be the beacons of light that we are, so that we can create a whole flame of love, light, peace, joy, and all those things so that it spreads throughout the world, particularly at this time. Now, kudos to you for being enlightened, being on the path to enlightenment. Kudos to you for knowing that enlightenment is inevitable, because that is associated with all the good things that we all have in common that we've all written down. So I'm feeling pretty positive about that. And all of the things that are happening, we're not going to say they're not happening. Hold on a second. We got Yo Shelly G, come to the fountain and drink. Go to God and drink of his supply. Yes, that's our source, right? And then let's take it another step and let's be connected to that source and start streaming that source to others. Let's tap into the fountain and the stream, and drink of it and share it with those who are feeling a little bit deprived. That's the other thing. I spoke of the perspective of you feeling deprived, perhaps going out into the world seeking and not finding. Then we brought it back. How about the others that are feeling that way? And how many people can we touch and transform, especially with all the with all of the events coming up? I'm not going to make the assumption that everybody celebrates Christmas, but Christmas and Thanksgiving, some of you have already had it, like my people in Canada have already had theirs, but this is a very blessed season coming up. And let's prepare for the blessings. Let's open up our hearts to each other and do generous acts and be joyous and be faithful and be peaceful and act those things. So I'm saying this as like our group can go out there and do that. All right, so I'm going to come back here and see if there are any questions or comments. Thank you so much for participating in all of this. And I know that you are on the channel. To be sure that this gets circulated, if you wouldn't mind, if you would subscribe or like on the actual video. The chat is a little bit different, but underneath the actual video, if you feel that this will be beneficial for other people. Thank you. Other than that, we have been speaking for just over half an hour, and I want to answer some questions now that you have. It's okay to feel uncertain, and truth be told, I want to share something with you. There's two things I want to share. There's a quote, and also I want to share with you that, where is she? I'm going to get it right away for you, the quote. And in the meantime, you can feel free to write down anything that you feel that you would like us to send you good energy about. So the quote is this by Anita Moorjani. I really liked this morning when I saw it. Self-love is the utmost of faith that whatever is happening to me is happening for my highest good. It is that trust, that faith, that knowing that I am part of the divine. That is really good, right? And knowing that we are empowered to move ahead and to actually be participants in spreading love, light, peace, and all of those things. So I have been experiencing, I'm in the desert and I've been going to all these caves and doing these journeys, this spiritual thing. And something that's been coming up for me is this feeling of anxiety. And I asked myself this question: why am I feeling that way? I really don't have a reason to feel that way, but it's so prominent within my experience right now, and it's not a usual feeling that I get. So I'm trying to resonate here with any of you that are feeling this way, and I started to go into it. And what it is that I'm sure you guys have all heard of osmosis, and I think that I'm picking up on that energy around, and I want to ask you guys if you're picking up on that energy as well. Now I know positive, but I want to know if any of you have also been experiencing it. And also, I want to hear what your thought process is when you're on your path. I want to hear your solutions of how you mitigate. For me, it's going out in nature. And when I was out there and taking deep breaths in, I just felt so good as I was walking in, doing a hike. And I'm planning more to do that. But it is real, the vibration is real, and maybe I was feeling that so that I could come here today and just talk about the fact that your feelings are affecting other people. So let's keep on a high vibe. Let's bring it. Let's bring it strong. Let's tap into our hearts, tap into God, tap into the source, tap in together. Let's pool together for love. And I'm so proud of my community, so proud that I know already that you guys are doing this. Okay, right. Some good comments. So Jody has also been feeling that anxiety. Jody, I want to ask you a question. Do you feel anxious any other times? Like, is that a normal part of your day? Because I never feel it, and so it's very curious that it's happening right now. Let's see this. Okay, Sheena, I recently fled from an abusive relationship. Please send positive vibes to my daughter and I as we are struggling now on one income. Her B day is on the 25th and Christmas also piled up bills. You know what? Thank you for being so vulnerable and so honest with your feelings. It really takes a lot to be able to come out and um, articulate your experience of what's happening. And I am going to send you lots of love. And I am going to send you power so that it can reinforce your vibrational field. And do ask your angels to come to you and help you because they are so powerful. They are there for you. Ask them for signs and they'll give you signs, like finding feathers. I find feathers everywhere. Finding heart-shaped things. When you start to look for it, they will allow you to see those signs to really stimulate and stoke your faith for all the things that you need. And here's a little secret of what I do. Whenever I, it doesn't happen so much for me, but whenever I do get into the notion that I don't have enough, I start to recognize that the entire universe is there for us. The entire universe is here for us. And when I think about this is kind of an odd thought, but I'll share it with you anyways because I share all the stuff with you. And when you think about someone like Elon Musk, whether you like him or not, this guy is creating a rocket to go to Mars. I mean, talk about viewing the entire universe as a place for us, a gift from God. And I don't want to go too far into it, but we need to be able to see all of God's gifts, the flowers, the trees, the opportunities. Now, when it comes to paying bills, sometimes we really narrow our scope down because that's all we can see is that. I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath in, exhale, ask your angels, commune with God. Let them help you in your life. Also, everyone else here can send you a bunch of good love from their hearts to you. Okay. Yes, good. The world will not remain like this. This is a definite time for humanity. Right. Yeah. So, good point, Washington, D.C. Um, a friend of mine who I just interviewed named Suresh, I want to give him credit. I wanted to edit it and get it out before this, but I'm trying to be kind to myself and not pressure myself. So I'll get it out within the next 24 to 40 hours. He said something really cool. He said it's like we're all in a pressure cooker and right now, and that pressure cookers are meant to expedite the cooking of rice. Otherwise, it would take a long time. And so we're in a position right now where we're expediting the road to enlightenment. And it's not that I wished for any of these things to happen, but would you agree that this is allowing us to really focus on humanity, the earth, what's happening? It's allowing us to have an acute perspective as opposed to worrying about our day to day things. I think we've all decided not to worry about our day to day things and we're just wondering what's next, correct? Well, the circumstances have captured our attention, and our intention should turn into our intention. And our intention is exactly what we've been talking about. And the intention can be released out into the atmosphere, your environment, this ongoing concentric circles, like when you drop a rock in water. We can use our energy to heal. Maybe we could and can consider this a time to heal. Okay, anyone who sees this, please pray for me. Excellent. Great. Rosa. Ripples in a pond. Absolutely. Yoshela. Sheena, we'll pray for you. Right there. Okay, so I think today I'm going to just look through a few more here. If you have a question that I haven't answered, if I haven't said your name, take this opportunity to type it now. If you're watching this on the replay, tell us what you think. Do you have mostly faith or fear happening right now? Tell us what you're going to do, and just to remind you, let go of that energy that's there. Spend time in nature, even if it's for 5 minutes. Take those deep breaths, commune with God, have faith in God's plan, know that enlightenment is inevitable for each and every one of us, even if we can't possibly imagine it. We can. Ask your angels for guidance, for healing, and for actual change in your life, opportunities. Ask them. Ask God. Try to find some time to move your body. Sometimes when we stimulate our body systems, our nervous system, we can release some of the anxiety that we feel. That's something I do for myself. Exercise basically doesn't matter whether it's a walk, a swim, whatever, jumping on a trampoline, walking upstairs, doing something that allows you to go into the zone of replenishing and relaxing your body energies, as well as making sure you get sleep. I'm going to decide on something. I've decided that during these times, I think I'm going to stop drinking coffee right now because it's not assisting me. And normally it doesn't bother me, but right now my awareness is heightened and my nervous system is being stimulated. So therefore, I'm going to take extra, double down on these actions. And finally, be who you want to become. Be that love, peace, joy, all the things that we wrote down. I want to thank you so much for coming here on this Saturday Live. I love you all, and feel free to write any comments that you like. If you have any questions that I haven't answered, thank you, Jamie. I love your channel, she said. Thank you for all that you do. Um, what? Okay, this is important. I know I said goodbye, but hold on a minute. Paul said something. Um, what are your foremost spiritual tools, Sylvia? Humility, prayer, patience. Well, it might be surprising for you to know that in my younger years, I was very impatient. I didn't really have a strategy about how to do that. What I do is I open my heart vulnerable to God. My biggest tool, and I can feel tears coming, so I know it's truth, is I I be vulnerable to God and I tell Him, please help me see with the eyes that you want me to see with. Help me be love. Help me feel love. And use me as a vessel to create joy and enlightenment in this world. I've got nothing better to do than to create joy and love. That's the way I feel, whether it's in work that you do or whatever it is that you do in your life. Thank you so much, Yoshella, for your super chat. That is so kind and generous of you to do that. I like to stay humble, Paul, because humble opens, first of all, I am who I am by nature. This is me. This is who I am, and I'm coming in truth. But humility allows opportunities to happen for me. I can see them more. It allows me to experience love from others who want to love me. When I stay open and humble, I can actually feel the love emanating from other people. When I start to go into my identity of who I think I am too much, I feel lonely. I'm being very vulnerable in telling you that. I would rather be connected and feel filled with love and joy. It's very important for me to be part of this community and as well as my own family. So that's why I do it. And there's definitely a strong pull in the past for me to have a strong identity. I want to let it go. That's the whole letting go thing. So thanks for asking that question. Thank you. And yes, I'm going to pull all your comments out here. Just fill out this whole thing. Thank you. Thank you. And Yoshella. What? That's so generous of you, Yoshella. I really appreciate that. It helps me continue to sustain this channel and to keep moving on. I love to have this channel here for you guys. And I intend on keeping going because you guys are the fuel that propels me to keep going every time. So just to recap for those of you that are here still, um, every Saturday I come on live and then I have guests. Tomorrow I have a guest, Sharon Milliamum. I can never pronounce that last name. Milliamum. She's somebody I interviewed. She had a near-death experience. She's going live with me tomorrow, so you can expect that. Also, Suresh's recorded video, also talking about transformative actions that you can take for enlightenment. His is going to be coming on within the next 48 hours as well, so you have a lot to look forward to. Thank you very much. Any suggestions that you have, input, and positive enlightenment, please put it below. Pray for each other. Pray for yourself to your angels. God bless.